Good morning. Let me know today if my mic is working. Hopefully, between Facebook and my batteries, we are set to go. So just let me know if anything crazy happens. With that said, we are looking at some shoulder work today. And what I always find so fascinating for people is when we do some work on the shoulders and then their standing positions like crescent moon and pyramid and warrior three all of a sudden come alive, simply because of the work we did in the shoulders and the great connection that is between the shoulders and the hips. So that is where we're going to focus on our short practice this morning. So come and join me at the wall. Okay, so coming over and be in standing initially. And do let me know, because I'll be looking at the screen quite a bit today, do let me know if my sound goes off at all, or if the sound is good, because we've had a couple of days where the sound's been a little bit funky. So what I want you to do here right now is feel your pelvis and feel your feet and feel your shoulders. And just notice where you are now. And notice your ability to breathe. And if you have tuned in, can you just give me a thumbs up that you can hear me? And then we're going to come to the wall here. We're going to take one arm up onto the wall. And then gently, the articulating joint here is the shoulder. And we're going to bring that arm back. So make sure that you aren't moving through the ribs, that the arm is coming back. Hand is easy. Easy, easy, easy breath. Okay, and then bring that arm down. Now you can always come further away from the wall or bring the arm closer down lower if you find that your hand is losing any blood flow or anything of that sort. Okay, so now I'm going to turn around and we're going to do it the opposite side. Actually, I'm going to come back to the back wall here. So arm is going to come up and then you're going to come back with that arm. You can see that you can either step forward or you can move the arm backward. But the articulating joint is through that shoulder. Easy, easy, easy breath. And then come on back. Okay, and standing. Now I'm making an assumption that you can all hear me, so I'm really hoping that my sound is working today. Okay. Arms are going to come up here. We're going to move the arms back. This is the articulating joint. And then turn the hands over. And over. Okay, I'm just going to check something. I'm going to check something. Can you guys hear me? If I do this, can you guys still hear me? Have you been hearing me all the time? I'm just verifying. Can someone give me a heads up here? All right, could you hear me before too? Okay, I'm just going to plug in my mic mixer. Let me know if you can still hear me, okay? Great. So if I do that, can you guys still hear me? Yeah? Okay, I'm going to step back. Let me know if that is still working, okay? Okay, good. Okay, all right. Okay, so we are going to be here. I'm going to just do this one more time. So we're here. And then we come back. And then back on the wall here, we're going to bring the arm back. Good. And then come on back. Okay, so then we'll come to here and we're going to bring the arms down. We're going to move them this way. Okay, so inhale, inhale, exhale, exhale. Inhale, inhale, exhale, exhale. So the articulating joint is that shoulder joint. It's not this, right? So we're moving right through here and really gain that awareness. A lot of people have been connecting with me, telling me that they've become aware of parts of their body they didn't know were doing what they were doing before. And now that has made all the difference for them. Okay, now in standing. Okay, so here we come with the strap. So with the strap, you're going to loop it up so that it's about the width of your shoulders. Right, so it's about that. And you're going to take it over top of one elbow and then another, like that, okay? Now I'm going to make mine a little bit snugger. So you want this to be snug enough, but you don't want it so tight that you're going to lose the blood flow or any other communication down to your hands. Okay, so this is where you're at. And once you're here, just be aware of the bottom of your feet. Center of your heel, ball of the foot. And then bring your arms backward. So you're articulating through that shoulder joint. And again, it's not that. It's not this. It's just the arm bone in the shoulder socket. And you'll notice that that's a big reason why when we move really well and improve the function of our shoulders, we change what's going on at the hips. Because if we're not compensating with our ribs, we're not compensating with our pelvis, now it's just the tissue around the shoulder that's doing what the shoulder is being asked to do. So it really frees up a lot of stuff down through here. Okay, and then let that go. And let's come into a chair. Okay, so we're going to bring a chair over. And one leg is going to come up. So one foot's up. Hands are going to come into prayer position. Middle finger underneath your chin. And begin to twist one direct towards your bent knee. Now the idea here is I'd like you to do your very best to keep your pelvis quiet so that the pelvis doesn't go with the ribs. So it's the ribs while the pelvis stays quiet. And you'll notice your relative ability to move, right? Now, lots of people will move the pelvis because they've heard that it protects their SI joints, which is not untrue. Because if you have limited mobility and you try and push past it, then you could probably hurt your SI joints. But if you move in the range that you actually have, then you'll really improve your twist and you'll improve how your SIs function. Okay, and then come on back. And then other side, bring the leg up. Now we're going to twist. Keep that the nose in line with the breastbone. Now what becomes sort of interesting, if you're at all curious about this kind of thing, is if you have any interest in binds. This is a place where you get to play with building toward that. So if I take a twist here and I bring one hand over onto my thigh and I use that hand just to keep my awareness that my leg doesn't fall in, but I just keep that awareness there. Then with this arm, I can bring this arm into internal rotation and then bring the elbow back behind me. So now I can start to play around with moving in the direction toward a bind in another orientation, like I'm talking about in sitting or when we're in a lunge. We're not going to do a bind, but we're moving that direction, right? Really, a lot of these complicated types of movements that we hear are not great for ourselves. It's because we don't have the capacity to do the movement. I was looking just out of curiosity. I'm going to bring this arm behind. I was looking at what the sort of the Iyengar traditional classic styles of yoga from the bygone era, if I could say it that way, what they would do for various conditions. I was just really curious yesterday looking around and seeing what they would do. And what was interesting is a lot of the sequences had very, very long holds and doing poses that were quite complex. So there would be really no way that people could do them if they didn't move very well. But I can see where they could provide tremendous benefit when someone moved better. Right? When we think about inversions like headstands and shoulder stands, they really can be awesome positions. The thing is most people don't have the function to do them. But you can build it. Okay, so now from here, let's play. We're going to come back with the chair, so I'm just going to leave it on screen for a bit. I'm going to come back here and we're going to come into a crescent lunge. And then bring the arms up into cowboy surrender. And then bring the arms overhead. Good. And then step forward and bring your hands onto your pelvis. Straighten that front leg. Now really think pelvis. Bring the pelvis forward into pyramid. Now you notice we haven't really done any hip work at all, right? It was all shoulder stuff. And so when I'm curious, and we're going to come back to high lunge here, I'm curious about what this feels like in your body. Now for some of you, you're going to be like, okay, there's no difference at all, right? That's all right. But for some of you, it's going to be like, wow, I had no idea my shoulders had that much of an impact on these positions, on how my pelvis moved on my legs. Because that's really what we're doing here. That's the distinction, right? We did some shoulder stuff, did a little twisting through the torso. Now we took the leg back into extension. Yeah. And you might notice a difference with how you're moving through your pelvis. Yeah. And then come to standing. And back. It really becomes about curiosity. In some ways, we're getting so fixated on science and evidence and relying on that to make our decisions. And I want to raise the voice of like, yep, evidence is absolutely vital, but then there's the evidence of our own system to make and decide whether the evidence that's out there honors what's going on inside of us, right? So you'll hear that from a bigger picture. We're going to do one more here, a pyramid. You'll hear that from the perspective of whether the evidence is clinically significant. Good, and then up. Right, so when I read papers and research about movement and exercises and pain and all that, I always find it very fascinating. And then I ask myself, all right, is this working in my own studio setting? And sometimes the answer is no. So then I put it to the side, right? Because it depends on the person, right? Okay, now we're going to do a high lunge to pyramid to warrior 3. So from here, let's step on back. Bring your arms into whatever. You can keep your hands here if your shoulders aren't saying they want this morning. Come forward. And then forward into warrior 3. Now remember that warrior 3 is a movement of hip flexion. Right? And so if you find yourself coming over to here, it's just letting you know that you've lost that function in that plane of movement. Yeah, it's all good. The key is to notice when that happens. Okay. Coming into pyramid. Really think about your pelvis moving on your legs. Good. Coming forward. And then forward into warrior 3. My chair is not quite lined up. And then back. And then up. There we go. And standing. Okay, now notice what you feel. And bring your chair over. Let's come back to the standing twist. Bring that right foot up. Let's see what's gone on in your body, having just worked with the lower part. Bring the hands together, middle finger at your chin, and take that twist. Now you can take the arm here, you can keep the arm here, or you can bring the arm back here. Those are all different movements through the shoulder girdle. And then untwist. Easy, easy, easy breathing. Good. And then come here. And now notice yourself in standing. And feel what you feel through your feet and through your legs and through your pelvis, up through your torso and your shoulders. And let's come onto your chair now. We'll have a seat. And bringing one leg up onto your ankle here. And then slowly come forward. on up. Good. And then other side. So this is being filmed on a Friday, and my Fridays are executive board days. And what that means is I spend the entire day with my two most important board members. Whereas the other days I have afternoons because I teach in the morning. This is the day I'm with my little twins. So today we are going to start with a buckwheat pancake. All right, bring the legs wide and then come forward. And then depending on the weather, we'll either get on our bikes or into our rain suits. And then who knows where it will go next. All right, and then come on up and find your breath. It's funny, they don't see me doing a lot of yoga, but they know I do it because I often do it at this time when they're still asleep. But they know what it is. So now close your eyes and just feel into your breathing. Coming back to your breathing. And then gently open your eyes. Now I want to leave you with one little message or piece of awareness I'd love for you to practice. Particularly if you're someone who's been having pain, and as you've been practicing with me, that pain is starting to go away, right? And I've been getting a lot of DMs about this, which is fabulous because I can't even see you. And it's lovely to know that this is helpful for you. So you've finished this practice. If you're someone who now feels good or better than when you started, I want you to recognize that you now know what good feels like. You've got a good feel of what that is. And you've experienced it before, so you know what good feels like. You also know what crappy or bad or yicky or just plain old shitty feels like, yeah? So here's what we need to do next. I need to show you, and this is what I'm doing now, that you need to pay attention to when that good feeling starts to fade, yeah? Because there is a gap between the good feeling and crappy. And a lot of times we miss that gap, right? We just go from here to here because all of this is where the whispers are. This is where I like to call the yellow lights, yeah? And if you can start to notice when this good feeling starts to fade and when these yellow lights or whispers pop in, You'll be able to intervene, do a movement or a breathing, grab a glass of water, get outside, do whatever you need to do, yeah, over here. And that can ease off how quickly you go down to here. And then you'll start to learn that you can actually have more of this good feeling because you're able to intervene. You then have the control and the capacity to come back to here, okay? And if you happen to miss it and you slide down to here and you happen to miss it, don't worry, just know that you missed it. No biggie. It's just tissue, and you come back and join me tomorrow and you'll help to feel good again. And then you'll learn how to find those feelings. Okay? So good feeling, if that's where you're at, just notice, because I don't want you to go off and then burn it all up without awareness and then come back and kind of get your fix. I mean, you can, that's one way, but I'd rather not be the one who gives you your fix. I'd rather be the one who helps you feel good more and more often. So when you get a baseline of feeling good, you can go to the next level of good. That's how you come out of this better than you came in. Okay, that's how it works. You feel like shit, then you learn to feel good, and then from good you can feel better, and then you can feel better. That is the name of the game. Okay? So if you want to play, give it a go. Send me a DM if you need to. If you want more personalized attention, come and join me for our 3-month series of one-to-ones. This is what we really, really dig into. Alrighty? Other than that, have a really great day. And if you're seeing this before you go to sleep, have a great, great sleep, and we will see you tomorrow morning. Take good care. Mwah.